the eve of the college entrance exam. I deliberately infected myself with 18 deadly viruses. All because on the day of the exam the blood moon will rise. The global virus mutation. People with illnesses will awaken superpowers based on the viruses inside them. Abilities that are incredibly powerful and fast. People with a cold or fever can awaken the power to control fire and devour. People with red eyes can fire laser beams that cut through anything. Even my classmate Zhang Wei, who had calluses on his feet, awakened as the Kun-Kun five-tone universe. But me, a former pharmaceutical researcher, was perfectly healthy. So I ended up at the very bottom of the food chain. Now I'm back right before the apocalypse. So the first thing I did was inject myself with multiple viruses. After the last virus was injected, my body started to react. Mr. Liu, you now have 18 terminal cancer cells in your body. I have to say I'm really sorry, but your time is running out. But only I know that in just a few days, the world is about to change. Humanity is about to face an extinction-level disaster. I calmly looked at everything outside, knowing I could only enjoy it for now. When midnight on June 7th comes, the creepy red moon will cover the entire planet. All living things will mutate then. And humans will mutate too. In this age where diseases and cancer are common even among the young, 80 to 90% of people will awaken some kind of power. June 7th. I was woken up by a blinding light. I got dressed and stood in front of the mirror. Even though I already had burn marks, you could still tell he used to be handsome. My body was worse today. Aches from the diseases spread all over my body, like evil spirits were screaming and wailing inside me. But that made me very satisfied. On the last day, I still have more preparations to make, so I can welcome the apocalypse in perfect condition. I injected the latest mixed serum and viruses into my body, including some unknown genes I extracted from the far north, and a bunch of fast-acting deadly viruses. The reason I'm adding more viruses to my body is also simple. Because even under the red moon, some viruses still won't evolve properly. Or there's a chance they'll evolve slowly. In the apocalypse, having an extra power is like having an extra survival method. So I want to collect as many as I can, to chase the path to immortality. After the injections I collapsed onto the bed in exhaustion. My face was getting paler, but on my face was a sick, twisted smile. When night came, I quietly watched the bright city lights in the distance, my expression getting more serious. This is the last flickering flame swaying in the wind before the end of the world. There's just 1 minute left before midnight. The era of crumbling rules and order is about to arrive. As the old clock hanging on the wall let out a dull chime, the once quiet night sky was instantly covered in a layer of blood red. Everyone was shocked by this sudden scene. Cars on the street crashed into each other all at once. People got out and looked up. No one cared about the damage to their cars. What's going on? The moon turned red. This is just too creepy. What the hell? My head suddenly hurt so bad. The ominous blood-red light engulfed the whole world. This scene was happening everywhere across the globe at the same time. I dropped straight to my knees. My body made sounds like popping beans. Cells intensified division and reproduction, becoming incredibly restless. Damn it. The reaction is this strong. Intense pain struck straight into my soul, forcing my body to curl up involuntarily. At this moment I could clearly feel like I was about to explode. I forced my willpower, refusing to let myself black out. If I couldn't handle the virus mutation, then death would still be waiting for me. Bring it on. I roared out loud. The humiliation and hatred buried deep in my heart for years were released, turning into powerful willpower. With a loud boom from the sky, blood-red lightning tore through the sky and the ground. The apocalyptic scene was set. Finally the pain in my limbs and bones gradually faded. By now I had completely become a terrifying blood-soaked person. It's hard to imagine what kind of horrifying pain I had been through. Outside, those who had awakened were also in shock, straightening up, staring blankly at everything around them. Having just gained power after the virus awakening, they didn't feel much difference. To fully master the power, besides some self-evolution development, they needed to keep evolving. My thoughts gradually cleared. I turned my head and looked at myself in the mirror. The me that used to be withered and skinny, now miraculously restored my appearance. A face carved like a knife, a body as perfect as a sculpture, and the faint chill emanating from my body, like a demon. Even though I was ecstatic inside, I didn't lose my composure. Having lived through a terrifying hellish era, my mentality had long been forged to stay calm. I looked at my own hands, feeling the cells inside my body that seemed reborn, full of endless vitality. Boom! Another flash of lightning lit up the sky. I stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, looking down at the world that had already entered the star era. I smashed the glass and jumped off the high-rise building. In the apocalypse, every shelter is meaningless. Absolutely useless. Only power is the truth. A loud crash. My body landed firmly on a car. With sheer force, I crushed it into a pile of scrap. People around were startled. All eyes turned to me. My car, That's my goddamn Star Era car. A shabby middle-aged guy in worn-out clothes instantly lost it over his junk car. I ignored him. My eyes locked onto the intersection, sensing some restless energy. The next moment, screams erupted from the crowd stuck on the street. From far away I could already see blood splattering. Long blades. Based on my memory from my past life, after the red moon descended, mutated monsters nearby started slaughtering here. The dude from the barbecue joint, the spider on the wall, the chicken from the basketball court. They had no trace of reason left. Only the instinct to kill. Within just over 10 minutes back then, they butchered hundreds of people. But the reason I stepped up wasn't to protect anyone. It was because these mutated monsters had something called pathogen light orbs on them. If you want to evolve into a perfect lifeform, you can't do it without a ton of this gaming-like experience. The mutated teddy dog grew dozens of times bigger. With blood-red eyes and razor-sharp fangs, even tougher than a lion. The teddy's owner had no clue what was going on. She kept calling out "good boy" from behind. But the next second the teddy smashed her head with one swipe. The bloody scene made everyone's heart race. Chaos broke out instantly. I felt the endless power surging inside me. Stepping on a car I advanced. Until I was less than 6 feet away from the raging teddy. My gaze was ice cold. Feeling my stare lock onto it, the raging teddy monster turned its eyes on me. It leaned forward, like a loaded arrow ready to fire. Then the next second it lunged out explosively. Countless people were running for their lives while I instinctively turned to look back. One by one they all had terrified looks on their faces. They figured this young guy who suddenly dropped from the sky had a death wish. But then what happened next totally blew everyone away. The teddy monster let out a roar and lunged at me. My expression didn't change at all. Its seemingly fast moves looked like slow motion to me now. A squirming sound. I saw black blood vessels spreading from my right arm. They completely covered my arm. Sharp blades stuck out at my shoulder and wrist. My fingers even turned into gleaming steel knives. Before anyone could even be amazed, I made a sudden lunge. The steel blade instantly stabbed into the monster's heart. Its body froze in mid-air, and the fire of life in its eyes slowly died out. A faint green orb slowly rose from its body. That's the pathogen light core. I gently closed my palm, and the orb scattered into specks and melted into me. It brought a faint warm feeling. Is this what they call experience? Not much. But it's better than nothing. Now that I've actually killed one, my blood started to boil too. Even though I killed people in anger in my past life, that was just a weakling's desperate struggle. I freely controlled the mutated cells in my body. The blood vessels on my right arm squirmed, like they had a life of their own. As my thoughts changed, its form changed accordingly. The sharp claw blades that used to extend from my fingertips turned into a huge hammer, and then into a gleaming bone blade. Sure enough, this cell mutation system is kind of like the blacklight virus. Now if I wanted to, I could control cells to make all sorts of changes. Whether it's a blade, a spear, or a shield, or even flesh armor covering my whole body, it's just a thought away. The superhumans I met in my past life didn't seem to be able to pull off that kind of full coverage at will. Looks like because of my foresight, I have a bunch of different viruses in my body. Quantity turned into quality. Or maybe this power comes from the unknown virus mutation from the far north. But either way, I can perfectly control this power, so I have the capital to survive in the apocalypse. Without hesitating any longer, I quickly turned my attention to the other mutated monsters that were going wild. In just over 10 seconds, I had slaughtered every last mutated monster on the entire street. Then he quickly left the chaotic area. Because compared to all this chaos in front of me, I've got much more important things to do. That is to break into and take over the underground biolab. Right now, every major forum and video site online is totally blowing up. People are rushing to post videos of the weird phenomena, and they're having heated debates in the comments. Everyone's buzzing with speculation. You can tell from the words just how desperate they are. But as time goes on, more and more people start noticing changes in their own bodies. So the whole internet gets even more fired up. Brothers, I've got a major discovery to report. I think I've become the legendary Spider-Man. I can shoot this sticky white stuff from my body anytime. You sure you didn't just master some hand gesture technique? I'm having something similar too. Except I can spit acid from my mouth. So what if the reason we were in so much pain earlier is because we awakened some kind of ability? Ah, that's just too cool. Cool your ass. It's the end of the world, man. People can die anytime, anywhere. The online chatter keeps getting worse. More and more messed up things start showing up. Haunted houses with no shadows, zombies that attack people on sight, intensive care units across the globe, old folks who were dying of illness coming back to life, wandering the streets. Everything becomes a source of fear. Lots of people in their desperation awaken their own powers. Seeing this, the authorities rush out a vague statement. But the chaos is already a done deal. unstoppable like a flood or a wild beast. From what I remember, getting a rough hold on the situation, and gathering some awakened folks into a special supernatural unit, that's at least a month or two down the line. Right now the once busy streets are covered in flames, blood and signs of looting. When order collapses, people show their true evil side. And right now anger is burning in my chest. I'm going to find the people who used their powers to treat me like an animal in my past life. Time to make a move. I leap from over 10 stories up, heading straight for the underground biolab at top speed. This was a base set up here by some foreign scientist, to research some shady stuff. Someone was protecting him, so it never got exposed. If it wasn't for that huge earthquake in my past life, I wouldn't have known the biolab even existed. Then, guided by the blood moon, I descend from the sky, and walk into an old school bar. I get straight to the point. The biolab is underground, right? The old man at the bar stopped what he was doing. His harmful gaze turned to me. Without hesitation I instantly got up and struck. The old man seemed to have gotten some decent abilities after mutating too. His body started to grow huge, but my big hand slammed his head straight into the wall. How many people are down there? 17. Besides the scientists, there are a few test subjects too. Right under your feet. The old man was in agony. I told you everything. Let me go. I go. I instantly squeezed my palm and crushed his head. I suddenly lifted my right foot. Terrifying power gathered in it. I stomped down hard on the underground lab floor. Under a dozen stunned gazes, I curled my lips, showing a harmless smile. Good evening, little lab rats. Who are you? A woman shouted and stepped forward. I was already done talking with these people and didn't want to waste words. I just went straight to action. Anyone doing research here, or a test subject, must have some mutated virus in their body. I was way too fast. I whipped out a kick on the spot like I was dancing. 1 second it was in my hand, and the next it was already in their face. That woman hadn't even reacted. Before she was blasted backward, a bloody hole appeared in her chest. In an instant, I killed one. My mutated hand extended out, ruthlessly absorbing the cell power from the woman. A bald guy with a tattoo on his head had his eyes turn red, and he started going berserk. He quickly turned into a huge werewolf, letting out low growls. Another man and woman also moved. One had his eyes flash with electric spark. The other turned into a devil muscle guy with chemical biceps. Kill. Black blood vessels on my arm twisted wildly. In a flash they formed a black blood light shield. Then I pushed off with my foot, shattering the floor and flying out like a cannonball. That werewolf-tattooed bald guy held a sledgehammer. His insides were crushed into mush, completely shredded. The woman shot high-voltage electric arcs from her eyes, stabbing into my back. But I wasn't affected at all. A tentacle shot out fast, piercing the woman's body and nailing her to the ceiling. The muscle-headed demon came swinging like crazy. But before it even got close to my head, it burst apart like a magnet pulling in a freak. My methods were way too terrifying. The rest of them didn't even have the guts to fight back. Before long all 17 people in the underground lab were slaughtered. After absorbing their pathogen light orbs one by one, I let out a satisfied expression. Thanks for the feast. I paced around the lab, checking out all the experiments they had done here. From the leftover data I could tell that this place was originally used to test human limits, triggering all kinds of supernatural power, and curing people of the pain caused by cancer. They were making a mysterious factor that freed people from suffering. The original intention wasn't bad, but the process was extremely inhumane. I couldn't agree with it at all. Then I sensed a faint breath nearby. Finally, in a pod in the corner of the lab, I found a living being. It was a blonde girl who looked about 18 or 19. Her body was submerged in some special liquid, with transparent tubes stuck all over her. I could feel the strong life force inside her. This girl had already completed her mutation under the red moon. It was just a matter of time before she came out. After thinking for a moment I punched the pod and shattered it. The next second the blonde girl's eyes snapped open. Beams of light shot out from her eyes with immense power. I dodged to the side, and the beams hit the iron wall, scorching it black. The girl didn't seem all there in the head. She bared her teeth like a scared little wildcat. I didn't sense any killing intent from her, so I turned and left. After getting such powerful strength, even though I was hooked on the thrill of control and killing, I wouldn't just take the life of an innocent person. After absorbing a few pathogen light orbs, my power seemed to have increased a notch. Awakened individuals have clear levels of power. Transcendent, true, divine, legend, apocalypse, godhood. Right now I was somewhere between mid-true and peak-true. As for awakened people worldwide, most of them haven't even reached the transcendent rank. So for now, I was unbeatable in battles among the transcendent. But I wasn't going to get cocky because of that. There are plenty of freaks in this world. One slip-up and someone could skyrocket into a huge threat. So I had to make sure my evolution was as perfect as possible, so that one day I could become the top of the food chain, or even a god. From the latest news, I could tell that the authorities had started building large shelters. They put out a global announcement to recruit awakened transcendents, trying to form an orderly righteous faction. I wasn't really interested in that. In this doomsday world full of survivors, I prefer being alone over teaming up. Steam was rising from a bun shop. Even though his body doesn't need food to survive now, he still wanted to taste a bit of human life once in a while. I had just picked up a bun and was about to eat when I caught a familiar figure in my peripheral vision. It felt like I was being watched. The blonde girl was standing a few meters away staring at me. I pretended to glare with fierce eyes to scare her, but the girl didn't flinch. Instead, she walked over and stood right next to me, staring blankly at the buns. I pushed one basket of buns toward her. She grabbed one and stuffed it into her mouth without a second thought, making little munching sounds. After pushing my share over to her too, I stood up to leave, but the girl barefoot followed me. She gulped down the bun and then spoke. "Brother, let me come with you." It seemed like she hadn't spoken in a while, so her words came out a bit rough. Lu Yu frowned, taking a closer look at her. After a long pause, he agreed to let her tag along. From their earlier fight, the girl was actually pretty strong. She might even become a major asset. Plus, I remembered a rumor from my past life. There was a blonde powerhouse in an official organization who single-handedly killed dozens of powerful foreign superhumans. That caused quite a stir. But since there was so little info about it, I wasn't sure if it was true either. Does it have to do with that girl? After talking to her, I found out her name is Kana Rain and she's from Sakura country. But right now she can't remember a lot of things. I could also tell she wasn't lying. So I decided to keep her with me for now and worry about the rest later. A week passed by quickly. During that time, I just occasionally killed the nearby monsters, just to have some peace and quiet. Kana Rain, because she felt insecure, would always try to sneak into my bed at night. But I was focused on getting stronger and killing. Women would just slow down my blade. Lately there've been a lot of rumors online. The authorities moved fast. They've started building large shelters. They're planning to put up 3 tall walls. People from different areas will be split into classes. Probably going back to an imperial system soon. There's another thing about the authorities too. They've recruited a bunch of strong people and gave them jobs running the Supernatural Affairs Bureau. Things calmed down a bit in the apocalypse. But even with strict control, some still slipped through. Joining the authorities meant being restricted. So a bunch of people formed their own supernatural team and started causing chaos in the cities, showing the worst of human nature. Their destructive power rivaled the monsters and ghosts. They became a force of their own. I felt my blood starting to boil. I couldn't hold back the urge to fight. So I turned my sights on these scumbags of society. My eyes started turning bloodshot. After taking a long breath, I looked at the girl, Rain. It's time to start cleaning up the trash. Even Rain, who was usually so well behaved, had a hint of cold murder in her eyes. Got it. You. Right then, under the red moon, a mob of about 30 thugs was parading down the street. These guys were already punks and scumbags, and in a world with no rules they were even more vicious. Bro. Big bro. Please. That's the money for my kid's college. You can't take it. A woman was clinging to the thug's leg begging. Get lost. The big muscular guy kicked her right in the face. She took a heavy hit. Her body twitched and she passed out on the ground. The nearby residents and shop owners didn't dare to step up and resist. At the same time, a group of people on top of a tall building were watching everything unfold on the street. A girl, maybe around 15, stepped forward slowly from the back. She had this cold, aloof aura that felt like she was 1,000 miles away. Her name is Gu Xuan. He's one of the captains of the Extraordinary Affairs Bureau. Even though he's young, the power he's awakened is incredibly strong. Whoosh! A few of them descended from the sky together. Before anyone around could react, the long blade in his hand was already out of its sheath. He sliced off 2 heads that were wide awake. All the thugs instantly went on high alert. But when they saw there were only 4 of them, they got bold and started attacking. That chick with the knife better watch out. I'm gonna mess him up real good. Over a dozen thugs rushed at Gushen from all directions. Shing! A flash of cold light swept through. The ones in front got caught by the sword's edge. Next second they were cut in half. They were all terrified. They started running away in all directions. But Gu Xuan was faster. They watched helplessly as the long blade pierced their bodies. Their world went blurry and then dark. Just as the other team members were about to run, a powerful blast of lightning came from afar. Damn official superhumans dare touch my people? You're all dead. A young guy in flashy clothes stood on a high spot, gritting his teeth. When he moved, lightning flashed around him. His presence was terrifying. He'd awakened a nature-based power. The young guy's palm crackled with lightning as he struck out. Gu Xuan blocked with his long blade, but the lightning suddenly exploded in a small area. He stumbled back a few steps. The guy in flashy clothes sneered. Don't think every strong person in this world bows to the officials. People like me, Nobody in this world has the right to control me. As he spoke, a few more people showed up behind him. Their energy was just as powerful, nothing like the trash from before. A deadly fight was unavoidable. Official superhuman Jiang Na made the first move. Red vein patterns flickered on her arms and leg. She went after a guy with a buzz cut. That buzz cut guy had wide eyes. He opened his fists, his big eyes glowing red. Then, energy gathered into a shockwave that exploded mid-air, kicking up a high-pressure blast that flung Jiang Na a dozen meters away. Another big guy in a tiger print vest grew bone spikes all over his body. He shot them out like a storm. Gu Xuan saw it and quickly moved to block him. He swung his long blade fast to parry, making a clanging sound, but he still got hit in the shoulder and thigh. Yet Gu Xuan's expression never changed, though his face was visibly getting paler. He held the longsword across his chest and said, "Bring it on." "As you wish." The next second the skinny Gu Yu suddenly bulked up. A powerful force was gathering. Brother Lin yelled, "Fall back now. You can't take this hit." But Gu Xuan ignored him. He didn't want to turn the residential area behind him into a shooting range. So he stubbornly stayed put. At that moment the nearby residents all had looks of utter despair. But just then, a whoosh came from the air. A golden figure dropped from the sky. In his hand he held a kunai. It swiftly slashed across the mechanism head's neck. Head separated from body. Who? As the green-haired youth beside him instinctively moved to strike, he suddenly felt a chilling cold at his back. A voice that seemed to come from the abyss whispered in his ear, "Don't move. People can die." The green-haired youth leaped away, cold sweat beading on his forehead. At that moment I had my hands in my pockets, keeping an elegant posture. I said calmly, "Supernatural powers of the natural element, huh? Should be pretty tasty." The pressure radiating from the man before him sent chills down the green-haired youth's spine. Even the official superhumans were totally confused. Who the hell are these two? Could it be another team from the Supernatural Affairs Bureau came to back them up? The burly man in the tiger print vest seemed spooked. Bone projectiles shot toward me like missiles, pocking the ground with dense craters, kicking up clouds of dust. At that moment Gu Xuan frowned deeply. He keenly felt that something seemed to be thrashing wildly inside the dust cloud. What was that? Obviously, following the rule of having smoke as cover, I hadn't moved an inch from where I stood. There wasn't even a speck of dust on me. The thrashing tentacles on my body had already smashed the bone spikes into dust. What kind of monster are you? Before the tiger vest guy could finish his sentence, a tail-like tentacle whipped over fiercely. The tiger vest guy's head burst into a mist of blood on the spot. "Boss, we don't seem to have any beef, do we?" The green-haired youth was begging for mercy verbally, but his hand was secretly gathering power behind his back. "Behave." I flicked my finger. A pebble shot out from my hand. It instantly pierced through the youth's knee. The youth fell to his knees, but his scream was cut short, because I had already dislocated his jaw. The night was quiet. I didn't want to hear that harsh squealing sound. "Lin Ying, go take care of the rest." "Got it, big brother." He held a kunai backwards in his hand. His body moved like a ghost. A murderous gleam flashed in his dark blue eyes. A few sharp flashes cut through the air inside his body. The arteries of several thugs were slashed open. Blood sprayed and stained the ground red. But one guy managed to escape with a surge of energy. The sound of something cutting through the air rang out. That escaping punk was pierced by a bone. A terrifying bloody hole was left in his chest. He fell from the sky. I stretched out my tentacles and stabbed into the young thug's body. In an instant he turned pale as death. The old bark got all dry and withered. Then I just tossed it away on the roadside. My body started to glow with electric currents. I felt a primordial light body purer than ever before. Just as I silently turned around to leave, an off-road vehicle came speeding in from afar. Then something slammed into my chest. A few figures rushed straight at me. "Jiang Feng, don't." Brother Lin saw this. He started cursing. During the earlier fight, he had secretly called the bureau for backup. If they really pissed this guy off, they'd be stuck in endless terror. But I glanced at a panicked Brother Lin, and it seemed to hit me. Huh. A cloud of dust cleared. I saw something camouflage surrounding me. Red blood flowed. Like twisted limbs. It blocked a powerful strike. This is my new ability. These twisted limbs formed after my cells mutated, also called Crane Child. Not bad. I praised this big guy named Jiang Feng. At that moment my blood-red pupils cracked like a demon's. Jiang Feng, with his neck gripped and feet dangling, started questioning his life. Then he snapped out of it. Brother Lin also panicked. Forgetting his fear, he rushed over. "Go easy. Go easy. We're not enemies." Brother Lin gulped instinctively. I glanced at him from the side. I know. The new Snow Dynasty wants to have fun with him. I smiled harmlessly. But somehow it was still creepy. I scanned everyone. I retracted Crane Child and reverted to my human form. "Lin Ying. Let's go. Kanagi Lin Ying glared hard at that woman. Then she retracted her kunai and leaped to catch up. The whole place was dead silent. All you could hear were heartbeats pounding like drums. After we walked away, Brother Lin finally dared to go help his buddy up. But suddenly Kanagi Lin Ying zipped back again. Brother Lin almost jumped out of his skin. He thought that killer had changed his mind and wanted to go on a rampage. Before he could say anything, Kanagi Lin Ying spoke up. My brother told me to tell you. On the night of June 20th at 10 p.m. a zombie outbreak will hit the East District. It's gonna be huge. You guys better get ready. We'll be there too. After saying that, he left again, leaving everyone staring at each other. Supernatural Affairs Office Data Room. A few printed sheets were neatly laid out on the table. Zhang Feng and a female technician looked a bit grim. Take a close look. It's probably gonna freak you out. They recorded Lu Yu's medical history. It filled over a dozen pages. 18 types of cancer. From what we cross-referenced with his info and schedule, his behavior over the past year has been super weird. He bought and collected a ton of high radiation stuff, and a mix of chemicals. Sure, he's a drug researcher by trade, but if he used all those chemicals on himself. The female technician hesitated a bit and then said, putting together that June 20th zombie prophecy you gave us, we suspect he. Gu Xuan cut in bluntly. We think he's a seer. On the day of the Red Moon outbreak, that mysterious guy's video went viral online. It already caught the officials' attention. By matching it, we're sure it's Lu Yu. Those old-timers probably already dug up something shady. On the night of June 20th under Songsan Lake in the East District, suddenly stones on the ground started flipping and rolling. A bloody arm pushed up from beneath the earth. Over here! Everyone get ready to fight. Gu Xuan and his crew, who'd been waiting a long time, got excited. Lu Yu's prophecy was real. He really is a seer. As the first zombie showed up, the ground started shaking violently. Arms broke through the soil one after another. Demons howled. In just a few seconds, over 200 zombies appeared, and the number kept growing. The closest ones were less than 30 feet away. Commander Xiao Ya immediately jumped into the tank and fired. A heavy shell exploded in the middle of the zombie group. But it wasn't just gunpowder going off. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere. What the hell is this? In less than a minute, the whole East District was already smoke and ruins. It turned into rubble. Even so, zombies kept pouring in non-stop, and there were even more than before. Xiao Ya realized things were getting out of hand. She thought a zombie wave would just be a few thousand zombies, but now it looked way more dangerous than she imagined. Even the supers from the bureau were totally stunned. They'd never seen anything this crazy. Right as they were thinking about it, the sky above them suddenly went dark. Then a zombie dropped down from above, charging straight at them. Holy crap! A young team member was scared so bad he peed his pants. Just in time, Gu Xuan sliced it in half with his katana. A flash of cold light, and he sheathed his blade gracefully. How did it even get over here? What is that? Everyone looked over, confused. Then in the middle of the zombie horde, they spotted a massive figure about 15 to 20 feet tall. A giant zombie, all green and muscular, with veins bulging all over its body. It was grabbing nearby zombies like they were chickens, and throwing them like balls. Stop standing around. Get to work. The zombie stank so bad it was overwhelming. Zhang Na grimaced and swatted one away. Its body exploded like a watermelon. And a bloody piece landed on her arm. Ugh. Zhang Na threw up right on Linji's head beside her. And now, besides the regular zombies, special zombies with abilities were starting to show up. From here on out, the horde was just getting started. Why is there someone crying in the zombie pile? What the hell? That sound is giving me the creeps. Then a saintly person suggested, Brother Akun, that girl looks really pitiful. Why don't you go check on her? What if she's a normal person trapped by zombies? She must be feeling so hopeless. Don't worry, sis. Brother will go see what's up. A brave young guy with a middle part rolled up his sleeves and walked through the chaos toward the crying woman. He swallowed hard, forcing down a weird sense of unease, and gently tapped her shoulder. The moment his hand touched her, the eerie crying stopped dead. Then the woman's head twisted around in a sickening way. Hair all messy, face hidden like a demon. Brother Awaken screamed like a pig. And the female zombie lunged at him like a face hugger. Brother Akun couldn't fight back at all. In a blink, his skull was ripped off. On the other side, an elegant old man in a tuxedo. He pinched a blood pack between his fingers, took a big drag and chugged a strong fruit fertilizer. Then his power suddenly multiplied several times. His fist actually detached from his arm, and flew out wrapped in smoke. Boom. A few zombies got smashed and splattered all over the ground. His name is Chen Zihei. He's the captain of Team 3. He's pretty strong. Not much weaker than Gu Xuan. Rio couldn't help but shout out, holy shit. A cancer-powered strongman. So damn terrifying. The fight reached a fever pitch. The zombie horde's attack got more and more horrifying. Many people were cursing and feeling hopeless about the situation. Gu Xuan grit his teeth tightly. His blade was already chipped. He was confident in his own strength. But right now, there was nothing he could do. If that guy could come, there might still be a chance. Boom. The giant zombie punched a tank and crushed it into scrap, and started eating the normal zombies around it. Its body got bigger and stronger with every bite. The overwhelming horde had sounded the signal for the final assault. All the superhuman members couldn't help stepping back, wanting to flee in panic. Black clouds pressed down on the city. The red moon was falling. Some closed their eyes, silently waiting for their doom. Only Gu Xuan stared straight ahead. Even though his legs were shaking, he didn't show any fear. The giant zombie let out a beast-like roar, raised both arms to smash down. Just then, a thick iron pillar came whizzing from the other end of the sky. The giant zombie had no time to react. Its huge body was pierced through, and fell to the ground instantly, kicking up thick clouds of dust. Little Gu. Could it be? Gu Xuan confirmed. It has to be him. Everyone turned around, desperately curious about who Gu Xuan meant. And at that moment, the giant zombie that wasn't completely dead roared and stood up. Its crazed roar shook everything around. But the next second, a mysterious figure shot over from who knows where. Like a scarlet meteor in the night sky plunging to the ground, blasting the giant zombie's body into a shower of blood and flesh. In the smoke, a cold face lifts up in the darkness. Corpses are dancing wildly like a demon descent. Text. Man, this thing stinks to high heaven.